Yes, everybody, Ruston and West End. Hope you're safe and well. Having a lovely weekend. Hope you are. I'm a little bit worried. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit worried about the season ahead. I'm excited though. It's weird. I'm sort of worried, but I'm excited at the same time. And I'll go through my thought process of why. Now, if you look at, for example, our current squad. Now we know we've got an aging squad. And to be honest, that is not going to change next season. It's not going to change next season. The reason why it's not going to change next season is because the oldest players, we've given them a new contract. So we've given Oggy a new contract. We've given Cresswell a new contract. We've given Fabianski a new contract. 3 over 32-year-olds. I mean, some are a lot older than that. Cress is 33, I believe. Fabianski's knocking on to 40. And I'm older than that. I'm 40, 42. So I'm allowed to say that type of thing. So the squad age isn't something we can we won't be able to change for next season for sure, but maybe the season after it'll go down hopefully, probably next one, because obviously we've maintained 3 of the oldest players, and obviously we sell someone like Declan Rice at 24. The chances are, in terms of the people we're going to be bringing in, some may be younger, some may be older, some so it's going to even itself out. Obviously we did sign the youngster Sean Moore yesterday from Cliftonville, which I was really excited about. We've been after him for a long time, the Republic under 19. Goes into 21s, but we've seen how good that sort of crop of sort of Irish players, Northern Irish players, are as well. So the likes of Callum Marshall, Patrick Kelly's a good player, Josh Briggs, Michael Forbes as well. So he adds to that list, and I wish him well. Very, very tricky winger, and but can play fullback as well, which is nice as well. Diversity, we like it. We like it a lot. But regardless of that, our squad age on average this season was 28. Our squad age, and actually, it does make us the oldest squad we have made. It's technically on par with Fulham, but we'll just put it so it looks really bad. The oldest squad in the Premier League. Southampton had the youngest, then Arsenal, then Leeds. So 2 of those 3 went down, and 1 bottled it. So Declan obviously goes into the current youngest squad. I think I haven't looked at obviously Burnley and stuff. Once they confirm the 25-man squad for the season, it's we can then do the ages. But yeah, but what necessarily the age? I think the age is something that we can concentrate on at the moment. What worries me is what Tim's going to do with the squad as it is. So that's the squad as it is. With Declan Rice gone, that's the squad. Roughly. We put Connor Coventry back in. Forgot about him. He's there. Connor Coventry. You've got obviously Antonio Skomaka, Ings. You've got Ben Rama. You've got Cornet. I sort of moved everyone about a bit. I mean, technically Souček's on the other side, and Downs is probably back up to Rice. So anyway, regardless of that, that's how it sort of shakes up a little bit. Now, worst case scenario in terms of. Not even worst case scenario, but a realistic scenario is this by the end. So I've just put in green where you've just taken them out, basically. So a realistic, based on what we've gather, is Johnson goes to Everton. Johnson could well move on. To be honest, Souček could easily move on as well. He's in a similar contract situation to Declan Rice in terms of they can't agree a new contract. And he's got 2 years left in his contract, I think. Was it a year? I can't remember. Anyway, it's not a lot. So there could be maybe a possibility to move him on as well. So there's gaps. There's some significant gaps. And realistically, Connor Coventry is probably going to go on loan. I don't think he's good enough to be in the first team squad. And so, there's probably 2 central midfield gaps at least. The right side worries me, and strikers. The likelihood is Antonio may well seek a move away. He's been wanting to move pretty much most of last season. So last summer, last January, there were bids put in for him, which we rejected. And then the rumours around Skomaka as well. There's rumours around Paqueta. There's rumours around Tilo Kehrer as well. But I haven't gone to that nth degree. And that worries me a little bit because we've got this 105 million quid coming in whenever it comes in. If it comes in is another thing. Holly did a show yesterday about the FFP in terms of what we would do in terms of what we could spend realistically. And just to plug in some of the gaps, I think I personally think that in terms of the players that we've been linked with, I think we're about 25 million quid short, roughly, here or thereabouts. So for me, in an ideal, and I don't even think that would properly even sort out everything we want to look at. So if we rejigged the squad a bit and brought in the players that I think I'd like to, realistically, we're going to bring in. We've been linked with over almost 90 players, and that will hit 100 by the end of next week, I guarantee. And including sort of moving people around a bit. So, starting from the back, I think we're heavily linked with Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen, 27-year-old international, German international, 15 million quid price tag. You bring him in, you move Tilo to almost a right back cover because he has been playing right back, just as much as he's playing centre back. Ben Johnson goes to Everton with our wishes. Maybe that takes some money off of the Onana deal potentially, but I haven't put that into my thinking. So Jonathan Tah's there, 15 million quid. I think it's a bargain for him. Moving to midfield, Dennis Zakara. Dennis Zakara apparently is hot on our list of transfer targets. Around the £15 million mark he'll cost, which I think is a bloody bargain. Obviously, we're competing with other. This is obviously an ideal situation. We're competing with the likes of Lens, who are in the Champions League. They're looking for a replacement for takeover from Siko Fofana, who's apparently going to the Saudi League, who we were linked to as well. It's all like a domino effect. Number 15 million quid. As I said, I generally think we've got a good chance of getting an on. Now, I know people are saying, "Oh, he rejected us once," but that's money and playing. He's young, I don't see that as an issue for me. I think he could be the missing piece next season for us. I genuinely think he is. And I think they paid 30-something million for him on it. So I reckon you'd probably get him for 40, 45. So say 45 million quid. Maybe a deal with Ben Johnson. Who knows? Who knows? So we're at about 60, 70, 75 million quid. Alex Scott is another guy we've been heavily linked to. Apparently, we've put an offer of 20 million. They want 25 million. He's going to probably go for about 20. We'll say 25 million. I think he comes in. And again, this is not like this. This is the position they play. Alex Scott can play as a 10. Paqueta can drop into the Suchek. Can drop into the 8 role. Paqueta and Onana as a 2 with Alex Scott on the right. Alex Scott can also play right wing as well. Alex Scott, I think, will be a fantastic buy for us. I think he'll really excite us as a fan base, but he has to be given the space. Honestly, I think he needs to be played as a 10, and I think you'll see the best out of him. The Guernsey Grealish has been called. That gives you an idea of the type of player he is. So you need to give him space to breathe. And whether Moyes will is another question. But if he comes in, so we got 45 million for Onana, 25 for Scott. So that's 70 million, 85 is Zakaria, 90, 95, 30. I should have really done this for 70. It's about 100 million. That's actually 100 million spent. That's 100 million spent already. But then there's the Barnes situation. And I think Harvey Barnes is critical for us next season because we're so lopsided, I think, in terms of our attacking play. When the ball's broken, it's usually on the Bowen side. So if Bowen's meant to be coming in on the right-hand side, you need the left-hand side as well. I think you need to get Barnes. Now, Maddison apparently was Leicester's top side, in terms of their prized asset. He went to Tottenham for 40 million. I think Barnes, you could look at maybe 30 to 35 million, maybe 30 million, maybe a deal with Downs, maybe a deal with Connor Coventry, maybe a deal with Ben Johnson. There's people there I think we should utilize to get some money. So with that, so say you end up paying 25, 30 million pounds a year. That to me is what we're missing. So does it mean maybe we sell Souček and sell Souček for 10, 15 million? Obviously, maybe get some money for Ben Johnson. You could probably even out the books. I don't want to lose Skamaka. I think you promote Mbama into the first team squad now. I think you've got Danny Ings still there. I don't see, unless there's a deal for him to be done. You've got Freddie Potts coming through as well, and I think Freddie Potts would fit probably the Connor Coventry role in terms of this squad. I think defensively we're okay this season. I think there's issues to be had. Definitely, I think Jonathan Tah comes in and improves our options dramatically. But that's just my view. As I said, I'll be fascinated to know what you guys are thinking, because it's all right having money. It's all right having £100 million, but how's it spent? And how's it spent best in terms of, for me, people go, we need to go out and spend 70 million on a big name signing to come in for Declan Rice. Don't think so. I don't think that's the way to go. We've got so many gaps in our squad at the moment that we need to use this cleverly. It needs to be invested wisely. It needs to be invested in a way which may be surprising sometimes. I like that, when something, okay, I can see that, and they surprise you. I don't want to be, that's the people that I've picked are the guys who've been linked with most heavily. But that doesn't mean they're the ones that we're going to get. That doesn't mean there's not going to be one or two curveballs. We've been linked with, a couple of Japanese players recently. Why not? If they're good enough, let's get them in. We've done the analytical search. If we've done the data profiles of them, get them in. Get them when we need them. We had this thing with Thomas Souček, didn't we? We had no clue who Thomas Souček was when he came, and then he basically saved our season. Realistically, him and Bowen did, didn't they? In terms of the signings, and he was a phenomenal player for the first sort of little second half of that season when we signed him. And obviously went downhill a little bit since. But let me know what you think. Just want to throw it out there. I like just like getting what's in my head out and seeing what you guys think, because I think everyone's got their own opinions, and you might have some cracking players that you want to include. I haven't talked about Edison Alvarez. He's 30 million quid. Would I get him instead of Onana? No, I wouldn't actually. I'd get Onana. I think he's got more to his game than Edison has. I think Zakari is a good for 15 million a bargain, and if you can replicate what he was like at Leverkusen, actually at the beginning of his Chelsea loan spell, I thought he was really good. Then he got injured, unfortunately. But anyway, let us know. There'll be content throughout the weekend as per usual. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Much love, my friends. Bye. Enjoy your weekend.